Faster Fluency Conversation Club podcast, Why Breaks Matter in Life and Business. Hey, everybody, Christina here for your Faster Fluency Conversation Club podcast. And we are almost to the end of the year. Very excited about that. Looking forward to a break coming up. But before we have a break, I'm here with Matthew. And Matthew, how are you doing?
I am doing well. We were talking before, and you're all wrapped up in your scarf and,
Yes,
and winter jacket. And
right.
I'm also in like a hooded sweatshirt, and it's like 73 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay, right. You just gotten used to Vietnam weather. Yeah, because here in France, you guys can't see this, but as I'm recording it, I'm in my co-working space. I have a big scarf, my big jacket, because it's like, I don't know, 0 degrees Celsius or 32 degrees Fahrenheit outside. And we don't have any heating in this room. So, yeah, it's freezing, but you're freezing at 73 degrees Fahrenheit, but that's
Yeah.
okay. You know, it's all relative. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, we are coming up to the end of the year, which is a time when a lot of people take a break. And so we thought it would be a good topic for the podcast for this week and why it's important to take a break. So I don't know, Matthew, what's your response to that question? Why is it important to take a break?
Oh man, I'm very bad at this.
Hmm.
I usually like work, 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 work.
Yeah.
And not that I work like, 80 hours a week like I
Mm,
used to do when I was much younger, but it's
right.
just almost like every day is work, 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 work.
Yeah.
And it's just so nice to kind of like take a break,
Yeah.
recharge your
Yeah.
batteries. Um, just so you can kind of like refresh your mind. There's the expression like to see the forest for the trees, right? Is that
Mm-hmm.
how it goes? And it's like sometimes we get too close
Right.
to things where we can't really see what's happening.
Yeah.
And like just taking a break and like just whatever, hanging out, spending time with family, friends, going to the beach in
Right.
my case,
Yeah.
maybe going to the mountains in your
In
case.
mine, yeah, right.
Um, I think that I think it's important.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, no, definitely agree with that because I think um I'm a little bit like you in the sense like I really enjoy my work. Like I love like yes, it does feel like work, but at the same time it's very like fascinating and very exciting. And I like to, look at the stuff that we're doing and analyze it and it's almost like a puzzle or like a bit of a challenge. And so there is that sort of fun element or this element of excitement to it. And it can be sometimes hard to like just to stop and be like, okay, I have to go and take a break or I have to take a few days off. Because at the same time, like you want to do the work because it's interesting for you. But at the same time, it's like I know that working all the time every day is the like the best recipe for burnout, I think.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's when was it? At the beginning of December, like I took a few days off to go visit like the Christmas markets in the Alsace region of France. And it was a weekend, so I don't work on the weekends anyway. But a weekend and then two days, Thursday and Friday. But then when I came back home after that, I remember writing in my journal like lesson learned, even if you just take like a couple of days off and like go and maybe travel somewhere, and it doesn't have to be super far, but just like get a change of scenery, it can make a huge difference on how like refreshed and recharged you feel when you come back. And I put in like in a big box, lesson learned, every, you know, like 6 weeks or 2 months, plan to take off a couple of days and go like, I don't know, just go into the mountains or maybe go off the grid. But to really take that time because I like I noticed when I came back how much how much energy I had and how like excited I was to start the week, and plus it was feedback week coming up. So I was like, yeah, this is going to be super, like, yeah, I think it's super important. And if we don't like remember to do that and maybe even like force ourselves to do that, it can be very easy to get just like you said, caught up working very long hours, too many days, etc. And that's just good for nobody, I think.
That's right. Do you, while you were speaking, I was
Yeah.
thinking about, Kit Kat, right?
Mm, Kit
Take a
Kat,
break,
the candy.
take a
Okay,
break.
yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah, have a break.
Yeah.
And it's so important. And just to kind of tie it into like language learning, and
Mm,
if you're learning English, of course, is like, sometimes your brain, we think consciously, and then we have our subconscious
mm,
brain. And just taking a step away and like sleeping on it,
yeah,
right?
right.
Helps our brain to kind of like do what it's meant to do.
Yeah.
And so even taking a break from language learning,
Mm,
I'm a big proponent of like consistency and
yeah,
like, okay, just study like 5 minutes a day every day. But if you take one day off or 2 days off a week
right.
or a week at the end of the
Mm,
year, that's really valuable. Like
yeah.
I was really surprised. I taught myself Japanese,
Hmm.
and after like 7 years of not speaking the language,
Yeah,
when I went back to Japan the next time, it was there. Like, of
right.
course, it took me some time to
Yeah,
like get those words back,
right.
but yeah, giving your brain a rest and recharging, just like our smartphones,
Hmm. Yeah,
which I think
exactly.
you're kind of alluding to, like
Right.
taking a break from the smartphone and
Yeah,
going into mountains or into nature can really help us.
right.
But our smartphones really need to be charged.
Exactly. That's it.
you
Yeah.
know,
Their batteries
they
run
die.
out. Yeah.
The batteries run out. They die. We need to plug it back in, and then they can work properly.
Exactly. No, I think that's a very good metaphor, is like, yeah, like even though we are humans, we're not machines. But it's very similar. The battery gets low, you have to, you know, put it away, let it recharge for a certain time, and then you can bring it back, into activity, let's say.
Mm.
And I think that we're quite similar. So yeah. Right. Okay. Very good. So definitely very important to take some breaks, and maybe we can go back now and look at some of the vocabulary that we used in that conversation there. Couple of maybe one phrasal verb. But yeah, some good expressions here that we can look at. So let's see. First expression that we can define, maybe take a break. How would you define this one?
Oh,
It seems kind of obvious, I feel like,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. That's
yeah.
exactly what I was thinking. But it's a common expression.
Yeah,
Your boss will just be like, "Hey, why don't you take a break?"
yeah,
Or, "Oh, I need to take a break. I need to go have a coffee or something." And it's just a break is a break in time.
yeah.
So to kind of stop what
Like a
you're doing.
pause. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And I think maybe more than the definition itself, which I feel like is pretty clear, yeah, to have a pause. Maybe it's the collocation here, the fact that you use take a break and not like make a break or do a break, but it's, yeah, I'm going to take a break as
Right.
the key takeaway from that expression.
Right. And as you were talking about before, about like puzzles, because that's how I view language
Mm,
also, and
yeah,
many aspects of life. It's
yeah,
like, okay, how do these puzzle pieces fit together?
right.
And, putting these three words, take a break.
Mm,
It's they're three words, but you're learning them as they go together, as they
right.
should be. And they're
Exactly.
nice because they rhyme. Take a
Yeah,
break.
easy to remember. Yeah. Let's see, go off the grid. So I can define this one.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, basically to go off the grid means like to disconnect. No smartphone, no Wi-Fi, no 4G, etc. It's like if we say you're on the grid, it means like you're connected to all of these networks and things like that. And if you go off the grid, it's like you disappear from all of that, maybe for a few days. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's it.
Yeah, the grid is like this is sometimes students ask me a lot about like what is the grid? And I'm
Yeah,
like, okay, imagine like all the electric lines that
yeah.
connect your house to the businesses in your city to everything.
Mm,
That's the grid. If you're off the grid, you have
right.
no electricity, you have no
Exactly.
power. And yeah, you're just kind of hanging out in nature.
Exactly, which is, I think, good for everyone. Um, what about burnout? How do you define that one?
Oh yeah, I think we've talked about this plenty of times
Mm,
with on the podcast, but
yeah.
it's also a new like catchy phrase as
Yeah.
well as going grid. I think in today, and I think they relate, right?
Yeah.
In today's society, you can get so caught up in all your notifications on your
Mm,
phone and your email and the
yeah.
messages, and it can become too much.
Right.
And when it's too much, just like a candle
Yeah.
is burning and then it gets burnt out. There's no
Right.
more light on the candle.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
like it consumes itself.
yeah,
And then it just can no longer shine the light, let's say, because it
that's
has
right.
consumed itself.
That's
And
right.
it's just like
Exactly.
no more light and it's dead and yeah, I'd say yeah, burnout is like that feeling like it's like when you feel dead inside. But
Basically,
maybe
yeah.
that's it. Yeah, exactly. Because you have burnt all of your energy and you just have nothing left. So definitely important to do things to prevent that from happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about to see the forest for the tree? So you used this one in the conversation, so I'm going to ask you to define it now.
Oh, great. You know what immediately comes to my mind is like Lord of the Rings.
Okay, interesting. Please explain.
But like to see the forest for the trees, like we can like look at like one tree,
Right.
right? I'm like, oh, this is a nice tree.
Mm,
Oh, this looks good. It's probably like 200 years old based on its height and the thickness of
mm.
its, trunk, tree trunk.
Right.
Maybe
Yeah.
those are some vocabulary words for people. Um, but that's not everything, right? That's just one tree. So if you step back, another phrase we've probably used many times previously, and you can see, oh, there's not just one tree, there's a lot of trees here,
Mm,
and they're doing a lot of good um, for everybody. So to see the forest for the trees, it's like another way to put it is like to see the big picture.
mm. Right.
Um,
Yeah, that's it. It's like you have to take a step back to see the big picture, not just the one little detail of something.
Right. I think you made a mention in a previous podcast of like
Mm.
looking at a painting in an
Yes, like
art
a Monet
gallery too
painting.
closely.
Exactly.
Yes,
That's
right,
it.
right, exactly.
If you're
Same
too
thing.
close,
Yeah,
you
same
don't
thing.
see it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's see, recharge. I can define that one. I think, yeah, in the conversation we talked about like recharging your batteries or recharging your smartphone or recharging your computer. And it's basically I guess like refilling the stock of energy that your battery has if it's your battery in your device, your smartphone, or like your own, I guess we could say internal battery, um,
That's
which could
yeah.
be, like you said, sleeping is one way of recharging. Going off the grid is a way of recharging. Just taking a break is a way of recharging. But yeah, definitely a good vocabulary word to have
Yeah,
if you're
yeah,
talking about breaks.
for sure. And I guess maybe this is becoming more of a popular expression because
Mm,
of like Teslas or like electric
perhaps, yeah.
cars and smartphones. We need to recharge our phone or recharge our car. And yeah, we need to recharge our bodies
Yeah,
as
exactly. All right. And the final expression today, to sleep on it, how would you define that one?
Yeah, again, I think an expression that's come up before on the podcast, but
Mm,
you know, uh, talking about like the conscious and the subconscious mind is like, yeah, we can think about things and try to figure things out. Um, but sometimes the solution, we just can't find it, right?
yeah,
And then we go to bed and we wake up in the morning and we're like, ah, I got it.
yeah,
I know what to do. I know what to do. So
that's it.
sleep on it is also like to take a break. And in this case, it's like to take a break overnight
Mm,
and then
yeah,
tomorrow try to hopefully have a solution.
yeah, exactly. Or at least some clarity about, the situation or the question. But yeah, like letting your brain kind of work in the background while you're sleeping, and then you wake up and you're like, I have it. Or you have like, oh, I thought of something. But yeah, to help you to advance on it while you
Yep.
sleep.
What's that I love this word.
Yeah,
One of my English teachers when I was in like junior high school or
yeah.
something. Like, what do you think? You're just gonna learn through osmosis?
Osmosis, right. You're like, well,
She's
no,
like,
but your brain can function while you're sleeping. And you
yeah,
know what? It's really interesting. When I was doing the neurolanguage coaching certification, we learned that the
yeah,
brain, like while you're sleeping, it sort of kind of
it
like
does.
washes itself, as
It
they said.
does.
It continues
Yeah,
working. You're asleep, of course, and so you are resting, but your brain is still quite active. Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, my French, my French teacher, she's like, yeah, just put this French book over your head when you go to sleep. You'll learn French like this.
I'm not sure that works, but you
Well,
never know until you try. You got to
you
test
never
it.
know. You never know. Exactly. But that is one of the things that they say. Like, obviously you speak French
Mm,
fluently.
mm,
Like when you sleep and in your dreams,
mm.
do you dream French from time to time?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's a sign of you like, oh, I get it. I get the
Yeah,
language.
exactly. That's it. Right. Okay, so there's our vocabulary from this episode. And of course, if you listened to this episode and there was an expression that you found really interesting, or an idea that you found really interesting, definitely come and share it with us in your next FFCC session. And if you are not a member of the Faster Fluency Conversation Club and you would like to literally join the conversation, come and practice to become more confident in English, and maybe one of the best parts, meet and exchange with people from all over the world, different cultures, different accents. Definitely come and join us in the Faster Fluency Conversation Club. And all of the information to join, plus a special discount, is in the notes for this podcast. All right. Thank you very much, Matthew. And I'll talk to you soon.
Can I make two notes before we go?
Yes, please do.
Um, Talking about taking a break.
Yes.
Just so everyone knows, we will be
Mm,
taking a break. Actually,
yes. Good point.
FFCC will be taking a break from the week of the 26th to
Mm,
the 30th.
yeah.
So we may run like a rerun podcast
Mm,
episode, but there's no FFCC during that time.
yeah.
And then also we have some improvements coming to
Yes.
FFCC
Oh, yes.
in the future, in the new year, in
Yes.
2023. Nothing official yet,
Mm,
but we are planning to have more sessions.
yes. Yes. More sessions. We've got some other exciting improvements, which we have yet to define concretely, but we know that we listened to your feedback. We made tons of notes, and our work during the rest of this month of December is to look at all of your feedback and to see what we can improve, or what improve or just implement to make the Faster Fluency Conversation Club just an even more awesome experience. Because, like we said at the beginning, we really love like figuring this stuff out like a puzzle and trying to, rise to that challenge of creating something that's pretty awesome. So, yeah, we've got your ideas and your suggestions and some fun and very useful, let's say, changes, improvements, and new things coming in 2023. So we will see you then, I would say.
In the new year. I guess
Yes,
this is our last podcast of
of the year, is it? It might be.
2022. Yeah,
I think
yeah, yeah,
so. You're right. Awesome. Right.
yeah.
Okay. Well, you guys enjoy your holidays. And enjoy, you can take advantage of the your FFCC sessions to wish all of your FFCC buddies a happy holiday, whether you're celebrating or not. And yeah, and we'll see you in 2023. All right. See you, Matthew.
Have a happy new year.
Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and all of that.